Hi, this is Charlie from Path of the Bee. In this video, I'm going to mess around a little bit with some solar wax melting. I have some ideas I've been meaning to try. I've messed with it in the past some and have had mixed results. And so I'm going to kind of gather up what I've learned over the past and then what research I've gathered up here lately, and we'll try and put it all together. So I'll bring you in a little closer, show you what components I have, and kind of explain my ideas and what we'll experiment with. So, all right, let's get started. One of my original goals is to be able to just make it out of stuff that's really easily accessible, things that are already around and available. So I want to just be able to use a standard 10-frame deep box. And I've noticed that a lot of people are using these paint trays. And so I went and picked one of those up. They fit in here really nicely. So what I'm going to start with is I want the underneath side of it insulated and portable. So I'm going to start out with a piece of plyboard underneath to start with. And I'll put some of this insulated board on the bottom. Also, I did notice that some people are using these silicone trays because nothing sticks to silicone except silicone. So that's a really good thing to drip beeswax into. It won't stick to it. And so we're gonna try them out. What I did notice once I purchased some of these is that they are really floppy. And I imagine if that gets hot in there that they're gonna probably lose their shape. So we'll try it out with the experiment the way we're doing this, but I'll probably build a little frame for those to sit in. Okay, so let's get started with putting some of this reflective insulation down here on this bottom, what we're going to use for a bottom board. Okay, so opening up this roll of insulation here, I noticed that this sticker doesn't come off, so I think it's going to work out really good. Just go ahead and put this right on my board here. My board is about 20 inches wide, 24 by 24 inches, so this material is 24 inches, so I'm just going to cut a piece that fits on it nicely here. Okay, I'm just going to staple that down. Okay, then our box is going to fit on there like that, so we'll get some light in there and get it reflecting back out. So it's the end of December while I'm doing this experiment, so I may have poor results or good results. That's why I'm doing it now, is to find out if this is going to work for me. So the next thing I guess I'm going to do is I want to go ahead and put a layer of this material in here, and I think I'll just split this in half. It'll stick up a little bit, and then we'll fold those over. That glass will sit on that and hold it down. So if I go this distance plus this distance and cut it, we're going to use our bionic eyeball and cut this down the middle here. Going to keep the factory edge down. Now I have a shiny reflective box. I'm going to snip down these corners here so this will fold out. And I'm going to staple this out on the outside. Okay, I'm going to put this pan in. And so we can get a height of it. If I do build a little standoff stand, it will be the same depth. This is a 2-inch depth here, and so we'll set that in there just to get an idea of where it's going to end up at. So I'm going to want my paint pan to hang in here and stay at kind of where I would like it to be. So what I'm going to do is notice how that has these hooks here like this. So I'm going to take a and run a rod, a little thin, like a gas welding rod or a small heavy wire across there for that to set on there, and then the same on the underneath side, so that this will be suspended, and if I can get light in there, it'll reflect around and do its magic on whatever I put here in the tray. So I'll need to punch a few holes in this tray here in order to let the wax out. So we'll go ahead and do that. I'll punch a few holes here in the bottom of this. I want to make certain to not get them any wider than my pan here, so we'll use that as an eyeball. I think that'll work really good. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to determine where I want this pan at. So now what I'll do is I'll just drill an 1/8 inch hole through here. Okay, and then I have an 1/8 inch gas welding rod here that I'm gonna use as a support to hold that on. I think what I'll do now is I'll pull this out and bend the end, about 1/2 inch on that end. I'm just gonna bend it at 90 degrees to make a lock, and then I'll go ahead and clip this. And we'll bend it also. Now we'll go ahead and hook the feet over that, and that gives us a nice little hanging space there. I'll measure on the inside how high up I want a rod underneath. So now I've got these two rods in here. My pan sits in there nice and centered. We'll be able to set that on there. So this is an experiment, and while I'm doing this, I want to be able to check the temperature inside of this. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is put a meat thermometer in underneath this pan, so end of it will be shaded from the above sun, but hopefully this reflection is generating some heat down there, and things are working our way. So I'm going to install a meat thermometer here in the back side of this. Okay, so here's my thermometer I got. I bought a brand new one for this project. Beeswax melts at 145 degrees, so that's medium rare steak. And what I think I'll do is I'll drill a hole right here under the handle. And I took my dial caliper and measured this and got a drill bit that's exactly the right size here. So we'll go ahead and drill through there and install that. Fits like a glove. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this outside and set it up to measure the temperature that we can get. It's, like I said, it's towards the end of December right now. The forecasted high today is about 38 degrees, but it's supposed to be sunny, and so we'll take it outside and see if we can't get some heat in here, and how much. Okay, depending on how this experiment goes, one thing that I could do if I'm struggling with getting enough heat in there is that I could use this remaining piece of material from this bubble insulation that I bought to wrap around the back and turn it into a big shield, like a windshield shield. And that might collect some of the low angle rays and put it in the box. All right, let's take this outside and see what it will do. Okay, so you can see that it's cooled down enough that the needle there is in the negative. It's not that hot inside there, it's that cold inside there. So hopefully we could kind of watch it start to go up a little bit here. I think because of the angle of the sun at the moment, I am going to go ahead and put the reflector in behind the box. There, it looks like that put quite a bit more light down inside there. I'll zoom in on the thermometer. And that's underneath that pan, that readout, so it's going up pretty quick. Okay, so we're at the 5-minute mark now. Okay, so now we're at 10 minutes. Still climbing. Okay, so where we're at now is that it's another 5 minutes. It's been 15 minutes total, and you can tell by the long angle of the shadows here that that we're in the dead of winter, and it's struggling to move anymore. So I'm gonna have to figure out how to, you know, maybe get a little bit better insulation, better angles, make sure I got a little air gap sealed up. This obviously at this point isn't going to work. You know, maybe a higher ambient temperature. So I maybe revisit this experiment in about 3 months. Maybe at the beginning of spring I'll try this again, and we'll see if we can get this increased here in temperature. I'm sure it's my ambient temperature right now is really causing me to struggle, because it is like 35 or 40 degrees out. It's warm standing in the sun, but if you get in the shade, it's cold. So we'll go ahead and, like I said, we'll revisit this in about 3 months and see if we can make it work a little bit better then. So, all right, well, that's going to be it for this video. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time.